Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of The Gaming Gang. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. This is episode 550 of The Daily Dope. Wow, jeez. 550 episodes. Yowza. So if this is your first time joining me, let me point out that this is very, very casual. This is not rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination, just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. So for the most part, we talk about board games and card games, role-playing games, miniatures games, and so on and so forth. If it's going on your tabletop, well, if it's played on your tabletop, we're probably talking about it here on The Daily Dope. Every once in a while, we'll talk PC games, pop culture, but for the most part, it's all tabletop gaming. Also do want to mention, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that notification bell. It will not only let you know when the stream goes live, Monday through Thursday nights, right here on YouTube, also let you know when I upload my latest videos, such as my review of Dungeon Drop from Gamewright and Phase Shift Games. So this is the new one. Do also want to mention that since this is a live stream, I think I'll talk about that in a minute. But because this is a live stream, that does mean chat is available. It's not on screen. So one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But I do my best to pay attention to chat. So if you want to say howdy or have a question, a comment, by all means, please chime in. I'll do my best to respond. Sometimes chat does flash by pretty quickly, and I might miss some things as well. All right, so it looks like this stream is actually running live tonight because I already started the stream once tonight. So, first of all, it looks like we've got Cameron F., Alejandro Salazar, Jason Zirkle, the Madman is in chat. We've got Joe Bashirs, my good buddy from high school, Scott Weagle, and a gray day is cracking wise already here in chat. Is this live? I think it is. So, all right. So let me explain. We're going to get into the news tonight. I am going to announce who's winning my copy of the alternate art cover of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, as well as I will be revealing what my next giveaway is, as well as Brian Gronberg says hello in chat. So we will get to that in a bit. I will announce the winner and the new contest after the news. But before I get into the news, if you're curious what the hell happened last night, to be honest, at this point, I still don't know. So had everything set up, started to stream. Now, YouTube has changed their live streaming setup. I used to use their classic studio because I really liked it, and I could put information into that would actually show up. That I didn't have to fill in after the stream. I could preload it. People could be at the Gaming Gang channel page, and they could click on it and see, oh, this is what Jeff's talking about tonight. Can't do that anymore. So there's a new streaming setup. But the problem was, both those setups were still active up until yesterday afternoon, and then they locked me out of the Classic, which I knew was coming. I did understand that was on the horizon, that I was not going to have access anymore. So I do the stream, I see chat pops up, and the Madman, as well as I think a Grade A popped in late, and Flaming Huron. So these are three folks who watch all the time. We're hanging out, and they're in chat, and I'm doing the, I'm doing the news and making comments and things like that. And I see the chat is going, and I'm like, wow, I'm kind of surprised nobody's commenting about what's going on, the latest stuff in the news. They're like really into talking about their current role-playing game campaigns and that. I'm like, well, that's okay. It's chat. It's for you guys. You guys hang out, have fun. As Scott Nelson has chimed in as a first-time viewer, welcome aboard, Scott. Hopefully we can make you feel welcome and comfortable hanging out, kicking back. Just kick up your feet, relax. So I'm about 30 to 35 minutes into the stream, and the stream is streaming. Because that was the first thing I was curious about. Okay, so is this another situation where I've got chat going and it's just not showing up right? But that chat started. So I was like, okay, so chat's fine. I go and look and I see the stream going. I'm like, okay, so the stream is fine. For some reason, YouTube was not sharing it as a public stream. Even though it was marked as being public, it was not a private stream. It was a public stream. So, of course, I start streaming tonight. And I take a look. I do my usual, hey, happy whatever day, and stay tuned for the latest news, yada, yada, yada. I go through, up to about this point, right? And then I notice there's no one in chat. No one said hi. That's very, very unusual. Even when I have very slow chat nights, there's still at least one person in the first 5 minutes who says hi. So I go take a look. It's not streaming on YouTube. There you go. Grade A is Turbo Encabulator. No, it is not a fail on my end. It is a YouTube issue. It is certainly a YouTube issue here. It is a problem. So, Scott Nelson says that I reviewed one of Scott's games. So they thought they'd come by and check out the stream since it popped up on his feed. So I'm trying to think, is Scott one of the designers of, because I'm trying to remember. I think it is. I think Scott's one of the designers of Dungeon Drop, if I remember correctly. So we had fun with it, if that's the game you did design. Come on, there's so many games running through my head. I'm lucky I can remember my own name sometimes. All right, so it looks like everything's good. We are rocking and rolling. Looks like we are all right for tonight. Once again, if you're tuning in to see who's the winner, stick around. I will be announcing the winner right after the news, but I got a lot of news. Scott Nelson says no, that's not his game. Oh, Healthy Heart Hospital. Oh my gosh, that's way back. Look at a Grade A jump on that. A Grade A must sit in front of his computer with Board Game Geek open, Wikipedia open. Oh my gosh, that is really going back. Good old Victory Point Games. In fact, Healthy Heart Hospital, which I really enjoyed, was one of the first kind of Euro game, if not the first Euro game in the bigger, more professional looking packaging that Victory Point Games actually released. Pretty sweet. So Jack Tarbox is hanging out saying hello. Howdy, Jack. Jack says, you're such a positive guy. I assuming Jack is saying I am. Maybe he's talking about a Grade A. I don't know. I have no clue. All right, so let's jump on into the news because I got a lot of news tonight. So first off, today saw the launch of a new Kickstarter. That's right. There are 2 new Thunderstone Quest expansions from AEG. They're up on Kickstarter as one release. It is called The Enemies Among Us. I've got the dope. Darkness Rising is the first of the 2 expansions. It is Thunderstone Quest 10. Count Mortas feeds off the life force of the citizens of Ibbenwood, a pocket dimension shrouded in perpetual twilight. I wonder if Strahd hangs out there too. New heroes rise to take down the Count, and they too can draw power from the darkness. But they must be careful. If they draw too much power that way, all will be lost. Then there's Miracel's Return. This is Thunderstone Quest 11. Once a lowly peasant, Miracel returns as a powerful wizard. To help her conquer Thunderstone Keep, she has taken control of many of Thunderstone's greatest heroes, as well as an army of scions. It's up to a ragtag group of outcasts to save Thunderstone Keep in the epic conclusion of the Miracel story arc. There is a quick video, it's about a minute and a half if I remember correctly, from AEG talking about this new Kickstarter, so let's give it a watch.
Thunderstone Quest returns with 2 all-new quests in one massive kit. As a respected member of society, Count Mortis walked too close to the darkness and now lives off the life force he drains from the citizens of the Ebonwood, a pocket dimension shrouded in perpetual twilight. You must recruit a new band of heroes to protect the citizens from the Count's dark minions. You may be tempted to touch the darkness yourself, but be wary. That power comes at a high cost. Once a lowly peasant, Miracel returns to Thunderstone Keep as a powerful wizard, and with her, an army of bitter scions. Having lost the hope of creating their own world, these scions are determined to claim ours. Miracel has also placed many of Thunderstone's greatest heroes under her control, making a mockery of their past deeds. It's up to a ragtag group of outcasts to defeat Miracel and her minions in the epic conclusion of the Miracel story arc, a quest that will put your deck-building skills to the test. Thunderstone Quest is Mike Elliott's award-winning deck-building game of adventure and dungeon diving. If you're new to Thunderstone Quest, start by backing at the Value Pack Champion level, which includes everything listed here. If you're already a fan, pick up the new quests and continue your adventure. Back Thunderstone Quest now.
The Kickstarter for Thunderstone Quest, The Enemies Among Us, is very short. It is a very, very quick Kickstarter. You can reserve a copy of the expansion, which also includes some other goodies as well. I believe there's a new big box, which it can't be much bigger than the Thunderstone Quest original box, at least for the Kickstarter, right? The cube of gaming, as I like to refer to it. But it does come with a new box. It comes with some other items as well. But the big selling point is the 2 new expansions. You can reserve a copy of that for a $75 pledge through October 9th. This Kickstarter did fund within about the first, I think, 20 minutes this morning. Expected delivery is September of next year. I like Thunderstone Quest. The rest of the gang has enjoyed it as well. So I have played it with my best friend Elliot Miller, my nephew Cameron, some of his friends. I like it. I really do. And I think they got rid of a lot of the issues that the earlier editions of Thunderstone really had. The lighting aspect of it was so goofy. So cool, pretty cool. Do also want to mention real quickly, let me hop back here. So if you were watching any of the shows last week, you know that we had some major issues with drop frames and serious, serious problems with stuttering and things like that. We are seeing a little bit today, not a ton. Funny thing, last night, there was almost no drop frames. I think there were all of 175 drop frames in the show last night. That did not really stream live. I do see we are getting some little hiccups here and there, not too bad, but I racked my brain all last week. I mentioned this on last night's show if you missed it. I racked my brain all throughout last week trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Is it, is it the encoding going on here? Is it, my Wi-Fi setup, things like that? Turns out it was Comcast. Yeah, it was a Comcast thing. So tonight we are showing some droppage, but not too bad. It's within reason. So Kabuki Kid has popped into chat as well. Good to see you, Kabuki Kid. We do have Jason Zirkle. Did I say hi to Jason already? I don't know. I believe Jason's a first-time viewer. We have RYEDJ707. I'll just say Ried. Welcome aboard. All right. So pretty cool Kickstarter. I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty nice. Moving right along. Arriving this week from Added Game and Luma Imports is the party game Mystery Detective Volume 1 Classic Cases. Here's the dope. Mystery Detective is, you guessed it, a mystery-solving party game that you can start playing almost as soon as you open the box. One player, the chief, takes one of the 100 illustrated cards and reads it to himself, or herself. The front of the card has the mystery, the back, the solution. Then he reads the front of the card to the players and shows them the illustration. The other players are the detectives. Singularly and together, they try to solve the mystery by asking the chief questions, but he can only answer yes, no, close, or not relevant. Here's the first mystery. A woman dies because she was on the phone too long. We don't often talk too long on the phone. And then again, we also don't die while talking on the phone. What's going on? The detectives discuss and try to form theories that can be proved or disproved by their questions. A lover's quarrel? Was the woman killed by her husband? No. By her lover? No. Okay, maybe international espionage? Was the woman a spy? No, not relevant. Maybe we can localize this. Was a woman lying down? No. Standing up? No. Sitting? Yes. Now we're getting someplace. Bit by bit, the detectives try to piece together the mystery. Often a question from one detective will give another an idea for a whole new line of questioning. There's no winner or loser, but when you finally solve the mystery, you feel brilliant. Brilliant. The mysteries, well, not all crimes, are morbid and twisted and often very funny. You need to discuss, question, and think outside of the box in order to solve them. Great fun. You can play almost anywhere, anytime. In the car, at the dinner table, or at a gathering, all are perfect for the co-cop mystery solving game. This volume does contain 100 cases. For Black Stories fans, which I believe this is an English translation of, this first volume includes new translations of Black Stories 1 and 2. Mystery Detective is for 2 to 20 players. Once again, remember, it's a family party game. Maybe not a family game. It is a party game. It's for ages 14 and up. Plays in around 15 minutes. Volume 1 is going to carry an MSRP of $19.99 when it arrives this week. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. This could be kind of fun. It could be kind of interesting. Uh-oh. Looks like we're dropping frames again. What the... So here's the other thing I do have to mention. OBS Studio, which is what I use to do the stream, just released a brand new edition, a new update, just before I went live. So I'm kind of curious. I'm going to go in here real quick. I'm going to check something out. I'm just going to change something. Because every once in a while, if we start dropping some frames, if I make a change to our kilobits per second, it'll level out. But the problem last week was a bunch of packets being dropped, about 3%, which is insane. That's why I was saying it was a Comcast thing. So, all right, moving right along. Just launched on Kickstarter today is Warfighter Fantasy from Verssen Games. I've got the dope. Warfighter Fantasy expands the Warfighter series to the fantasy era. Warfighter Fantasy is a card game for 1 to 6 players. You play cooperatively with your friends against the system to adventure through dungeons, slay evil monsters, and gain gold and glory. Warfighter Fantasy is a standalone Warfighter boxed game. The game includes all the heroes, weapons, equipment, dungeons, locations, objectives, and hostiles you need to fully explore the nation of Plumeria. The core game gives you a full adventuring group of heroes and a nation's worth of hostile creatures. Each expansion pack adds depth and variety to your world. As with all Warfighter products, Fantasy is fully compatible with all other Warfighter products. If you want to build a SEAL team armed with M4 carbines and law rockets and take them into a fantasy dungeon to see how they fare against a group of orcs, a spike trap, a troll, and a fire dragon, you can. Want to bring your fantasy adventuring group to World War II to storm the D-Day beaches of Normandy? You can. Warfighter Fantasy introduces the Quest campaign strategic layer to the Warfighter series. In a Quest campaign, your heroes travel from town to town through Plumeria and descend into its darkest dungeons to root out foul creatures of every shape and description. With every victory, your heroes gain experience, skills, and treasure to allow them to enter even deeper dungeons and destroy even more dangerous creatures. Warfighter Fantasy is for 1 to 6 players. You play cooperatively with your friends against the system to slay monsters, gain gold, and glory. There is a Kickstarter video. If I remember correctly, I believe it's about 2.5 minutes. So why don't we kick back and give it a peek?
From DVG comes Warfighter Fantasy, a standalone cooperative game for 1 to 6 players. Warfighter Fantasy expands the existing World War II and modern-day Warfighter series to the world of heroic fantasy. The core game provides everything you need to play. You may play alone or with up to 5 friends as you explore the dungeons, fight monsters, and gain fortune and glory in the world of Plumeria. There are no special rules required for solitaire play. Warfighter Fantasy is fully compatible with all the games in the Warfighter system. You can take modern soldiers back to the distant past to fight monsters in the dungeons. Or you can bring the heroes of Plumeria forward to storm the beaches of Normandy, or fight alongside modern soldiers on battlefields around the world. Build your group of adventurers and travel into the world of Plumeria. Equip your heroes with weapons, armor, spells, gear, and supplies for every adventure. Each character class plays a unique role which contributes to the success of your party. Fighters are the frontline warriors, both dealing and absorbing damage. Thieves are needed to overcome traps, locks, and launch sneak attacks. Clerics support your group with their healing abilities. They use the power of divinity for their spells. Wizards utilize mana to attack multiple creatures at once with their special powers. Both clerics and wizards have their own rules and unique flavor, which adds considerably to the Warfighter system. With your team assembled, you can explore the many dungeons, do battle with monsters, gain treasure, and level up your heroes, so you can face the evil overlords that threaten the realm. The overlords issue orders that change the environment of the campaign. This means that no 2 campaigns are alike, so you can revisit them over and over again and experience new adventures. You can also add expansions to the game which provide for more heroes, weapons, armor, gear, monsters, dungeons, and treasure. Based on the proven Warfighter system, Warfighter Fantasy brings together all the elements you need for fast, immersive play in a fantasy realm. Explore the dungeons, fight the monsters, defeat the overlords, and earn the riches of Plumeria in Warfighter Fantasy.
Warfighter Fantasy is once again for 1 to 6 players. It did launch earlier today. You can reserve a copy of the core game for a $55 pledge, and expected delivery is expected delivery is May of next year. Do have to admit, I do not have the actual date that this Kickstarter runs through because Verssen Games had sent me the info. I put it all together and then I forgot to go take a peek to see when it runs. I would assume we're probably looking at October 26th or so. So I really do like Warfighter Modern. I've reviewed it. I had some of the expansions Verssen Games sent for it. Really, really did enjoy it. It's very cool. This looks pretty interesting as well. But here is my issue that I've got. And that is, for the core game, it's $55. And it looks like you get a good amount of content in the core game. But then all the little expansions, which look like they're basically decks of cards, maybe 60 card decks, they're $20 each. I was like, wow. I was like, wait a second here. Hold on a minute, Baba Louie. That is just... I get it. Verssen Games, it's a war game company. It's a niche hobby. It's a niche of a niche hobby, really. But still, that price is just way, way up there. All right, so Flaming Huron is in chat with us. Corey J has popped in as well. Corey J was asking if I answer questions, and I do. So what normally will go on is I will be providing a news piece. I might comment about that news piece. If somebody's got a comment or a question that they toss in, I will normally address that when I have a break in the news. So like right now, right? I'm done sharing the news about the Warfighter. So if you had a question, this is when I would address that. Or, sometimes I'll address stuff that's going on in chat as well. So I've got another news piece. Corey, if you got your question, fire away in chat, and I will address that after this news piece, because there is a new source book for the Middle-earth battle game. It's arrived from Games Workshop. Here's the quest of the Ringbearer news. The last days of the Third Age of Middle-earth may have been dominated by the many battles fought during the climactic War of the Ring. Yet the most seismic event of all was the destruction of the One Ring and the final defeat of the Dark Lord Sauron. Critical to this lasting victory over the forces of darkness was the epic journey undertaken by the Nine Walkers, the Fellowship of the Ring. For the deeds of its members, both good and ill, were destined to rule the fate of all. This expansion for the Middle-earth strategy battle game brings the fateful quest of the Fellowship of the Ring to life, as well as background on where the Fellowship's journey took them and vivid descriptions of the many trials and tribulations they faced along the way. The book features a wealth of new rules, scenarios, and profiles. There are also rules for a linked 28 scenario campaign that enables you to refight every key engagement involving the Fellowship and its members, from the smallish skirmish to the largest battle, with your collection of Citadel and Forge World miniatures. Inside the 128-page supplement, you will find the 28 narrative scenarios from the very start of Frodo's journey in Farmer Maggot's crop in the Shire, right through to the destruction of the ring in the fire of Mount Doom. The Journey of the Ringbearer, rules for linking the narrative scenarios together into a flowing campaign, with each battle having an impact on others. These include rules to represent the length of the journey, your heroes being injured or even dying, and recovering their strength between encounters with the enemy. Detail army focuses, including the strengths, weaknesses, and key models for 5 armies. The Fellowship, Rangers of Ithilien, Wanderers in the Wild, the Black Riders, and Cirith Ungol. Also includes 2 profiles for the Rangers of Ithilien list and 2 for the Wanderers in the Wild list. Rules for 6 new and updated legendary legions. The Breaking of the Fellowship, the aforementioned Rangers of the place that I keep mispronouncing, Lurch's Scouts, Depths of Moria, the Black Riders, and Cirith Ungol. There's guidelines for creating your own fantasy fellowship by assembling heroes from across Middle-earth in a similar way to the actual Fellowship of the Ring, but accounting for numerous what-ifs that could have reasonably happened throughout Middle-earth and the One Ring's history, including rules for selecting a Ringbearer, their companion, and the rest of the Fellowship. Also provides a slightly revised Fantasy Fellowship campaign, which consists of 23 linked scenarios. Do want to note, you will need the War in Rohan and Gondor at War supplements to be able to play through all of these scenarios included in the campaign. Finally, there's an extended masterclass on how to best paint and build the Weathertop scenery piece, which I'm actually sharing here, which is the location for Frodo's journey and, of course, the battle on Weathertop, obviously enough. This 128-page quest of the Ringbearer is available in hardcover for $50. Sweet. Nice. I thought I'd share it. I know I don't really share a lot of Games Workshop stuff, but I have a big soft spot for skirmish games, right? I don't need to have 500 minis, especially 28 to 34 millimeter minis on a table to be playing. So, all right. So, Corey is asking if there was one thing I could add to Icewind Dale, what would it be? You know what? I'll answer that at the end of the news, because that could be a little long. So, now I don't know if that's a question to me or if Corey's asking the rest of chat, because there is a lot of discussion going on in chat about a lot of different things. So chat is flying by pretty quickly. So there is some talk about Roll20, using Roll20. I've used both. I've used Fantasy Grounds and I've also used Roll20. I like Fantasy Grounds better. It's just me. So that is just, you know, my take on it. So damn, and I see we're at dropping those damn frames again. Huh. I don't know. I wonder if Comcast is back up to their shenanigans again. Because after I called in, things were working fine and things had changed a lot. I wonder if they're back to their nonsense from previous. I have to call them again. So the camera says they need a Ring Wraith mini with a torch sticking out of its face. Yeah, because all this stuff is based on the Peter Jackson films, all these miniatures and stuff. All right, let's move on. We got another Kickstarter that's kicked off today, now up on Kickstarter from my friends over at MonkeyBlood Design and Publishing, as well as Necromancer Games, which is actually Frog God Games. It's a division of Frog God Games. Is the 5e edition of the Middlelands. Here's the dope. A green-hued dark fantasy setting and bestiary set in a twisted Middle England. Situated in the middle of Haverlands is an area known by the ancestors as the Middle Haverlands. They don't use that name much anymore, preferring to talk lazily and skip letters. In strange accents often misheard and little understood by those outside of the central region, they call it the Middlelands and themselves Midfolk or Midlanders. Everywhere, though, the Middlelands is tainted by a green-tinged menace that rises from Middergloom, the deep and mysterious realms beneath the surface. It affects nature and order, sometimes subtly and sometimes catastrophically. Middergloom is often described as hell bathed in green fire and flames. Green-tinged, viscid slime, noxious acrid vapors, and miasmas of hopelessness creep upwards from below. Amongst them, colored demons, lime green tentacles, and other malachite horrors claw their way to the surface to wreak havoc. The lords of the land are always working to keep things at bay. They fight endlessly, as if holding back a torrent of despair. Things stir in the Verdian-hued landscape. Evil eyes blink and watch. Teeth and claws scratch and sharpen. Gaping maws slobber and drool. All is not content in the Middlelands. The Middlelands is an award-winning world. Yeah. Try English, Jeff. Time to grab a sip. The Middlelands is an award-winning weird world setting for 5th edition D&D. It's late Middle Ages Tudor England, seen through a looking glass filled with strange creatures, insidious threats, and the color green. It's edgy, it's twisted, and the first thing you should expect is the last thing you'd expect, which obviously enough would be the Spanish Inquisition. At least that's what I think. Looking for a 5e setting completely different, and now for something completely different. Wow, I'm just walking right into these Monty Python things. From anything you've seen before, you found it. Now let's see if you can survive it. Let's take a peek at the Kickstarter video. You can pledge your support and reserve a copy of the Middlelands 4.5e in PDF for $20. You can grab the hardcover, which includes the PDF, for $40. These are both pledges through October 29th over on Kickstarter, and expected delivery is next March. You may recall I have reviewed the Middlelands, which was for Swords and Wizardry from the edition that is from MonkeyBlood Design. I really do like it. I think it is a really, I don't want to say it's completely bizarre. It is unusual. I do like it. A Grade A actually made a comment that I kind of agree with, and I think a Grade A is talking about the same thing I'm talking about. So Grade A says that the Middlelands has to kind of cool it on all the green. And me personally, if I'm running something from the Middlelands, if I were running that setting, I would kind of really cut back on all the Middergloom that's in it, which is sort of, if you're familiar like with Warhammer Fantasy, the corruption of chaos. It's along those lines as well. Or it's all, you could also kind of consider it almost like the color out of space, kind of weird corrupting. So people are saying that the stream dropped on their end. So kind of weird. So I am not showing that the stream has dropped. So I'm going to take a quick peek. Yeah, there we go. Kabuki Kid says their stream didn't drop. But I am going to point out, for some reason, we are seeing all that crap, the same stuff that happened last week. The frame rates all over the place. Very, very weird. I don't know. All right. Anyway, once again, I'm going to be back to square one on this. All right, moving right along. One last news piece. There's a new source book for RuneQuest that's available in PDF from Chaosium Inc. and the Johnstown Compendium. I've got the dope on in a merry green Vale. Hey, we're sticking with green, right? Going from the Middlelands to a merry green Vale. For 2.5 centuries, the Arfretha Vale has been disputed between the warlike Milani and the proud Colomar. Okay, this is RuneQuest. I'm going to mispronounce all of this stuff, so kick back, get ready. The clans settled in the valley: Lysang, Nemold, Antorling, Gentilteal, and some other clan. Whatever. It's like, I guess I didn't read all these goofy-ass clan names. 8A Merry Green Vale offers you the opportunity to play one of these former outlaw clans. Return to the land of your ancestors, rediscover their secrets while gaining acceptance. Enter the fray of clan politics and lead your kinsmen to freedom, whether from the Empire or from their own barbaric ways. In a Merry Green Vale is an 85,000-word, 165-page systemless sourcebook describing the Lysang clan and its surroundings in 1615. RuneQuest time. I know it says systemless, but they're basically saying you could use RuneQuest like Glorantha, you could use HeroQuest. The sourcebook offers a comprehensive history of the clan and a full presentation of its ring, bloodlines, sacred mysteries, including a fully developed HeroQuest, along with simple game mechanics that stage the clan's political life. Alongside the clan's economy, a lunar slave farm receives a complete description. The chapter detailing the neighboring clans focuses on the Milani tribe recently joined by the Lysang clan. This 165-page PDF is available over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Nice. I like RuneQuest. I'm a fan. I have not played it in decades, but I always have felt that Glorantha is one of the probably most heavily produced and delved into realms in all of fantasy. Far more has been written and delved into for Glorantha than, say, Greyhawk, I would say. All right, so that is it for the news. I'm going to try to wrap this up fairly quick because these drop frames are driving me nuts. I do know a lot of people are looking to check out the debate tonight. Personally, I'm not going to watch it. I will catch some of the highlights. Nothing anybody's going to say tonight is going to change who I'm voting for. I'll just tell you that right now. All right, so it looks like some people have dropped out of the stream. But the weird thing is, it never showed that the stream dropped off. So I don't know. So, but yes, this is Flaming Heron saying driving me nuts. So I would take a guess, probably, yeah, because it's showing we've dropped about 20% of the frames. What I might end up doing is I may take a look to see what this looks like after the stream is over, because sometimes what drops during the stream, the finished rendering looks way, way better. But if it doesn't, if there's a lot of like choppiness and stuff like that, I'm just going to upload the recording I've got of this. All right, so I did choose the winner of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, ahead of time because there were over 400 entries in the contest. So basically, to have gotten into the running, all you needed to have done was be a subscriber to the Gaming Gang channel on YouTube and simply comment on what you were looking forward to as far as Rime of the Frostmaiden. That was it. That was pretty much it. So Kabuki Kid says, yeah, the frames dropping is getting worse. Yeah, I think what I'm going to end up having to do is upload the recording of this. All right. Anyway, the winner is Ace Turley. Ace Turley is the winner. Now, I do not know if Ace lives in the U.S. or if they live overseas, because if you live overseas and you mentioned that you would pay for shipping, you were in the running. So Ace, you have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to contact me. It is Jeff McAleer at thegaminggang.com. You have to contact me from an email address that you can prove that it's really you, because I don't want somebody out of nowhere. Yeah, that's me. So there's the winner. So my next contest, I recently reviewed Mariposas from AEG. I really enjoyed it. I thought this was very, very cool. I have a copy to give away. So what I am going to do, this is going to be a much shorter contest this time around. It is going to be, I will pick the winner. Let's say, what's a week from? I will pick the winner on October 8th. Oh, no, wait. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm probably going to take next week off. I will announce the winner on October 15th. So once again, this simply all you got to do with this is be a subscriber to the Gaming Gang channel on YouTube. Give a thumbs up on one of the episodes of the Gaming Gang. I should say the Daily Dope, not the Gaming Gang. And just a nice comment. Or just a comment. It just can't be a jerky comment. So, and it can be on any episode from today through October 14th. And then I will choose the winner. Once again, same thing. If you live in the U.S., I will pay for the shipping. If you live outside the U.S. and you want to get in the running, you would have to pay for the shipping. Aha. So there is that. Real quickly, if you didn't watch last night, as Brian Gronberg is in chat, I meant to say hello to Brian as he popped in. All right. So we've got Cameron F says, congrats, Ace Turley. You won twice. One on the book and once on that sweet fighter pilot name. Yeah, I'm sure that's not probably the real name. Anyway, I wanted to say that my friends over at Cubicle 7 Entertainment sent me the Ubersreich Adventures. So look forward to some coverage of that. And then I got the Invid Invasion. This is the third Robotech board game from Solar Flare Games. So we will be taking a look to that as well. All right. So I am going to wrap this up so I can kind of experiment to see what is the problem going on here with these drop frames, because yesterday was great. I mean, like I said, there were all of 175 drop frames in the whole, 45-minute episode. Don't know. Might have to go back to square one. All right, that is it for tonight's show. Once again, if you like the video, what you can see out of it, right? Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you do subscribe, ring that notification bell. It'll let you know when not only the Daily Dope streams live Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube. I'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my recent review of Dungeon Drop. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. All right, those of you who watched live and had to sit there and deal with this nonsense with all these damn drop frames, which we're at about 25% right now, which is ridiculous. Thank you so very much.